नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. This is Dr. Lily Trivedi and today I am going to take a lecture on bacterial transformation. Now this lecture is for BSc AG second semester, agriculture second semester, and the course is agriculture microbiology. Now what is transformation? Transformation is the process by which bacteria pick up DNA from their surrounding environment. The DNA can come from a variety of sources, but most likely it can come from other dead bacterial cells. In 1944, O.T. Avery, C.M. MacLeod, and M. Carthy recognized DNA nature of transforming principle of the pneumococcus bacteria and suggested the fact that it is DNA and not the protein which is the hereditary chemical. Transformation in yeast with the help of plasmid of E. coli was first shown by Henin et al. In 1978. Griffith was the first to show his experiments with Diplococcus pneumoniae. He injected non-pathogenic type or the R type, that is the rough type, into the mice and the mice survived. Then he injected the dead pathogenic type, that is the S or smooth type, into the mice and the mice survived. He also injected the pathogenic S type into the mice and the mice died. Now he made a combination of non-pathogenic R type and the pathogenic S type. And what did he find? He found that the mice died. Now, how was this possible? It was possible because there was a transformation between the R type and the S type cell into the pathogenic type. So the dead pathogenic type in presence of non-pathogenic R type transformed itself into the pathogenic, and henceforth the mouse died. It is a kind of genetic recombination where only the carrier gene, that is the DNA molecule of donor cell, can pass into the recipient cell. And how? Through the liquid medium. As already shown before, the Frederick Griffith in 1928 had done his experiments with laboratory mice of two types, Diplococcus pneumoniae, the rough or R type, which is non-capsulated, and S or smooth type, which is capsulated. So when the non-pathogenic and the S type is pathogenic, R is non-pathogenic. So when live non-pathogenic was mixed with dead pathogenic cell and injected into mice, they also suffered pneumonia and the mice died. So on isolation of dead tissue of mice, what did he found? He found the smooth capsulated cells on agar. So the R type had converted itself into the S type. Later on, James Alloway also transformed the rough type cells to smooth type cells using fragments and confirmed the Griffith's work. Further, Oswald Avery, MacLeod, and M. Carthy also found that DNA isolated from the fragments could induce transformation. So it was the first proof as a genetic material in living organism, and the mechanism was transformation. So during entry, one strand of fragments become dissolved by enzyme, leaving the second strand and then passes into the recipient cell through the cell wall or cell membrane. So here again is an illustration how the smooth type, which is the pathogenic type, injected into the live mouse kills the mouse. The R type, it is non-pathogenic, non-encapsulated, does not kill the mouse. The heat strain killed the pathogenic type, which is killed by heat, does not kill the mouse, but when both are combined together, so they both kill the mouse. So this is the explanation for how transformation takes place. There is also how it can be prepared. The transforming principle was extracted. This is the encapsulated strain. Through lysis and precipitate, the cell-free extract was obtained, which had the transforming principle from the S strain. Now, this S strain transforming principle was added to the R strain, which is non-pathogenic, and grown to obtain the culture of both S and R strain. So, this was also used by Avery, McLeod, and McCarthy. Here is another illustration how the DNA fragments from the donor cells and the recipient cells, which contain the chromosomal DNA, both are together, and the recipient cell takes up the donor DNA, and this further recombination occurs between both the DNA, and we get a recombinant genetically transformed cell. Here you can see some of the strains which have not been used, and they are left here. So it means that for a competent bacteria, the bacteria should be expressing the appropriate enzyme, that is the transformation machinery, which is required to transport the exogenous DNA into the cell. Correct genes must be expressed in order to carry out transformation, and the expression of these genes depends upon the growth conditions. When the bacteria is rapidly divided, nutrients are becoming limited, the growth conditions are favorable. In transformation, the cell surface receptor binds to DNA in the environment, and after binding, DNA is transported across the membrane by transformation machinery. Now, as this occurs, one DNA strand is digested away by exonuclease enzyme. So what is left? Is left a single-stranded DNA. Now, this single-stranded DNA can be used for recombination as long as it is sufficiently homologous to the host DNA, because only then only the recombination will occur. The recombination occurs in one way. It is not reciprocal, it is non-reciprocal. So exchange of strands is not there. Only the new DNA will simply enter the host cell DNA and replace a strand of host DNA. And the host DNA, whatever was there, gets degraded. You can also artificially induce transformation. For this, we need antibiotic sensitive bacterial cell, and we give calcium chloride treatment. It permeabilize the cell walls, and then we add plasmid to the DNA, and then we get a transformed bacterial cell through transformation. And on colony growth in an antibiotic growth medium, bacterial growth medium, we get the transformed colonies which can be isolated. What are the applications of transformation? It can be used to make multiple copies of DNA called DNA cloning. It can be used to make large amounts of specific human proteins. For example, human insulin, which can be used to treat type 1 diabetes. It can be used to genetically modify a bacterium or other cells. So my lecture was from all these references I have taken, and I hope you found this lecture interesting. And if you have any comments or query, please write in the comment section and I will resolve it. This video was done by the digital version 2.0 of Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. So I hope you found it interesting. Thank you. Namaskar.